Hi, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on where you are in the world. Today is July 7th. I'm happy to say to you that this is the 7th day in a row that I'm posting a video as a result of an invitation and challenge from some colleagues. So thank you for that, and I continue to be excited about doing this. So the word that I want to explore with you today is self-care. It's Sunday self-care. So there's a reason that Sunday for me is the self-care day. It's the day that I focus on self-care. And let me just say right off the bat that for me, self-care is defined as resting, recharging, and rejuvenating. So most Sundays, what I want to do is I want to take my pace down really, really slow, and I want to be able to just reconnect with some new energy for the new week coming up. And so for me, taking Sunday as a self-care requires some habits that I've developed, and I'll talk about how I did that in a little while. First and foremost, today's been a really good self-care Sunday it is. Self-care Sunday. So today I have had a power nap for about 45 minutes. That was really good. I had, before that, an amazing breakfast with Michael. And it was a breakfast that actually beckoned back to my childhood. And so it was really neat to connect with a meal that I rarely ever eat anymore. And yet the memories of that meal, a lumberjack breakfast, brings me lots of joy. And joy is definitely something that's all about self-care. And then, we just saw a movie. It's called Yesterday. It's a story of the Beatles music, and it's really outstanding. So if you have an opportunity to see it, go and see it. And that really soothed my soul and really gave me an opportunity to release some emotions that came up during the movie. So for me, the path that I took to get to self-care, because as a firstborn, self-care was not at the top of my list. Self-care was somewhere down towards the bottom because there were always other people that I could take care of. It could be my family members, it could be my partner, it could be people that I worked with, friends of mine. There were just any number of other people that I would be more inclined to take care of than myself. And so this was very evident in my career after I'd done multiple turnarounds for large companies, where I kept giving and supporting and transforming and transitioning organizations from one chaotic mess, if you will, into organized, maintaining, sustaining systems. So what happened as a result of that was that I really got fatigued. I had done several of them in a row. They were very large scale, and I realized that I was really running on empty. And part of the reason was because throughout that time, I didn't know how to take care of myself at the rest stops along the way. So I'd go a really long period of time, and then take on another job, and then go a really long time. And you put those up against each other, and then you end up not having any self-care for several years or more. So what happened for me was I took a break from my career. Initially, it was going to be about 6 months. It ended up being about 747 days. I picked that day because it's a great number for me. And it's about the right amount of time that I took my break. And what I did during that break was I focused on one thing and one thing alone, and that was to figure out how to develop habits of self-care. So they could be small, they could be large. I absolutely had to get clear about how to do self-care. And so during that period of time, there was a lot of travel, a lot of solo travel. There was a lot of connecting to like-minded people. There was a lot of retreats that I did. There were just any number of things that I found that helped me to support these habits of self-care. So the real test came when that period of time was over, and I was very tranquil and very serene and all of that, and I went back into a job that actually had global ramifications, global scope, and I had to be really, really careful to make sure that I didn't fall into the old behaviors and habits, and that I maintained the being in self-care. And I'm happy to say that I did as a result of that time that I took off to focus and be disciplined about it. So self-care is absolutely essential for leaders, and it's very, very important that it periods throughout your working that you take time away, either long weekends or vacations, holidays, any of that type of stuff. So self-care can be small, it can be big, and at the end of the day, it's essential to you and your career. So I'd love an opportunity to talk with you more about how I can support you in self-care and other aspects of developing your unique leadership style. If you'll email me at phil@seedandlead.com, I'd love to set up a one-on-one discovery call with you. With much gratitude, enjoy your self-care Sunday.